Hello, today we are going to be talking about charts and graphs and how to create charts and graphs using SPSS. So I've opened the General Social Survey 2008 and I'm just looking at the variable view right now. So here are all my variables and here are the labels. So let's go ahead and analyze some of these. Let's start with a basic pie chart. So what I want to do is I want to go up to the tools up here and I want to click on graphs. And you can use Chart Builder, but I find that it's a little confusing. So I like to go to Legacy Dialogues. So again, you're clicking on Graphs and then going to Legacy Dialogues, and then you see a whole bunch of options here for different types of charts. So I'm going to choose a pie chart, and I'm going to choose that I want summaries for groups of cases. So now I can choose, do I want my slices to be the number or the percent? I prefer percents because it's easier to compare data set to data set, but that's up to you and how you want that to work. So then you have to define your slices by, so you've got to pick a variable. So let's pick the variable race because it's a nominal level variable, so it works well with a pie chart because there aren't as many categories. So I'm going to click on that variable, and then I'm going to click the little arrow, and that's going to move it over. If I make a mistake and that's not the one that I want, I can always move it back by re-clicking that arrow. Another thing that you can do is you can click on it, hold it, and drag. Oh, you used to be able to drag. There you go. Drag it over. That also works. And so you can do it that way. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go into titles. And I'm going to give this a title. So percent of, well, let's see, race of respondents to the GSS 2008, percentages shown. So I'm just going to fill in here some information. I'm going to put kind of what this is and what this chart is. I'm going to say where it's from, what it represents, just so that the reader can get an idea of where the data is coming from. So you can really put anything in there. There's the title, there's also a subtitle, and then there are also a spot for footnotes. So I click OK. If you don't do that option, then you can always do it in Microsoft Word once you copy and paste. So that's all I need to do, and then I click OK. So we leave everything else blank. And so what will happen is I will get an output window like this, and here is my pie chart. So you can see that here is the title that I had typed in. Here's my key, and then here are my pieces of the pie. And that's it. That's my pie chart. So now if I want to put this into Word so that I can type my interpretations, I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to open my Word document and simply paste it in there. Now, one of the things that I like to do, as I mentioned in the frequency distribution video, is I like to do what's called a paste special. So I go up to Edit and then Paste Special rather than just Paste. And that allows me to put it in as a picture so that all the parts and pieces stay together and it's not going to be, I'm not going to accidentally edit it or change something. It also allows me to shrink it if I want it to be smaller. And it allows me to make it bigger if I would like to make it bigger. So once I have it in Word, then I can go ahead and type my interpretations and put in any other information that I might need. So that's your basic pie chart. All right, let's do another one. So let's go ahead and minimize that, and let's do a bar chart. Make this screen a little bit bigger, maybe. No? Okay. I'm going to do a bar chart. So I'm going to go Graphs, Legacy Dialogues, and bar chart. So I just want a simple bar chart right now, but this is the same place you would go to get a clustered bar chart. So let's start with a simple. You'll notice that I didn't change anything on the previous screen. I just left it as it is. Now again, you can have your bars represent the N of cases or the percent of cases or a couple of other things. It's up to you. I prefer percents. Again, makes for easier comparison. And so let's choose another nominal level variable. So let's do, did your mother ever work while you were growing up? And we're going to put that into the category axis. And that's all we need. And then we can put our titles in if we need to, but you don't have to put anything in there. You can always do that later in Word. So then I click OK, and here's my bar chart. So did your mother ever work for pay for as long as a year while you were growing up? Yes, no. And then we can see our percentages here. And you notice since I didn't put a title on it, there's nothing up here. So I would copy and paste this into Microsoft Word. And I'm going to paste special so that we get the right formatting. And this works the same if you are in Windows. It just looks a little bit different where the toolbars are, but other than that, it's the same. Now, if I want to put a title into this now, I can right-click my picture, and I can insert caption. And that will allow me to put in some sort of title goes here, and you'll see that there will be a caption on that. And so there's a caption down here at the bottom. You can also just type right above it. So if I wanted to, I could move this down a little bit and put a title right up here. So that's another option. All right, let's go ahead and look at a clustered bar chart. All right, now that we've created a regular bar chart, it's time to look at how to do a clustered bar chart. So I'm going to go up to Graphs again, Legacy Dialogues, Bar, and I'm going to choose the clustered bar chart and define. And then I would put my variables in. So I've got % of cases, just like before. And then I've chosen the variables respondent sex and then did they vote in the 2004 election. So your category axis is the first split. So this is kind of how you're dividing your data. So I'm going to split the data by sex and then compare them on this, this characteristic. Did they vote or not vote? So play around with it, see which one makes more sense to you, and you can always try it both ways and see which one looks correct to you. That's the nice thing about a computer. It works really quick, and so you can go back and make changes if you need to. So I've got those variables in. I'm going to click OK, and here's my clustered bar chart. So we can see that for men, the voted is the blue and did not vote is green. So for men, they were more likely to not vote than to vote. For women, they were more likely to have voted than not vote. And so that's what the clustered bar chart kind of shows you in very simple terms. All right, so in addition to the bar charts, we can also do a histogram. So let's go back up to Graphs, Legacy Dialogues, and let's look at a histogram. So all the way down at the bottom. And so I'm going to choose how many brothers and sisters did you have. And so that's going to be my variable. And so I'm not going to do anything with panels. And I can choose if I want to display a normal curve or not. We'll learn more about the normal curve next week. But for now, you can just include the variable and then click OK. And there is my histogram. So very nice and easy to look at. It's got the question there. It also gives us some other statistical information. Now you'll notice I didn't choose to put a title on it, but again, you'll want to put a title on it and indicate where the data come from. All right, so one more to take a look at. Let's look at a scatter plot. So let's go to Graphs, Legacy Dialogues, and let's look at a, let's look at a line chart. So if I want a simple line chart, so this would be like the line chart that I showed you in the last video. And so we're doing a simple line chart. We're going to click Define. We're going to, again, choose % unless you want to use N. I'm going to do how many brothers and sisters again, just because I think it'll be interesting to compare. And I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to click OK. And there is my line chart. And so basically, if you were to overlay the line chart on top of the histogram, you would see that they match up, that you're getting those peaks and valleys. So that is how to create charts and graphs in SPSS. Next week, we will get started on measures of central tendency. Thank you.